BigDog Alpha MP60 inch. I bought this mower not this last summer, but the summer before, because we had a 48-inch style tractor mower, and it just was taking way too long to mow the lawn. I am a little bit biased towards BigDog because the dealership that I work at sells them. So of course I got, you know, pretty decent pricing too. But one thing that's cool that BigDog does is they have what they call their Heroes discount. So if you're a firefighter, EMT, either active or retired, military, law enforcement, any of that stuff, active or retired, you get an additional discount off of the promo price that they use. So if you're interested in a mower and you fit into that category, definitely something that's worth looking into. I've got about, actually just over 60 hours on this mower now. Like I said, this last summer was our first full year using it. I've been extremely happy with it. When I bought it, I opted for the MP. It's got a little bit heavier duty hydros in it, a little bit heavier deck. The MP is basically you know, there's an Alpha and then there's an Alpha MP. The MP is kind of a step up. And I also opted for the flex forks that you see here on the front. Those make a big difference in rough terrain. There's actually a rubber mount torsion spring inside of there, and as you're going across the lawn, and even now as I step on the mower, you can see it flex a little bit. Makes a huge difference in ride quality. Anyways, every winter I bring the mower in, I completely service it, I drop the deck off of it, I scrape any debris out from under the deck, I flip it over and I paint it anywhere where the paint's been worn off of it. This year it'll probably be time for new blades. Just kind of the general maintenance stuff I do. A lot of people don't do that to their lawnmowers. These doggone things are expensive. In fact, I paid more for this than I did for my Impala that's sitting right on the other side of the camera there. And so I'm going to do everything I can to take care of it as good as I can. And eventually I want to maybe go up a size, and so I want to keep it in good shape so it's got a higher trade-in value as well. Just one of the things you can do to make them last a lot longer. I like to keep it clean when we're done mowing. I grab my leaf blower and I blow all the debris and stuff off of it. It's always stored under a roof. I make sure I service it on the proper intervals. Here I'm gonna go ahead and drop the deck off. And then the other thing that I've got to do is it's actually a 75-hour change, but I'm going to do it at 60 since I'm got it in the shop and I don't want to have to do it in the middle of the summer. Is the oil and the hydros needs to be changed. So that's another thing I'm going to do while I've got it in the shop here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'll keep you guys along for the ride. If you have any questions, let me know. Alright, there you have it. The deck is out of the mower, the belt's off. At this point I could technically drive this thing around if I needed to. That didn't hardly take any time at all to get that deck off of there. Now I can get it all cleaned up. A lot of people don't do stuff like that with their lawnmowers, and that was just simple. It was easy, anybody could do it. That didn't take me a single tool. All I had to do was pull some pins on the deck and drop it down, slide it out. So way safer than trying to jack this thing up and get underneath it. Way cheaper than the mower jacks that are out there on the market. This is the only way that I would want to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning some of the grass and stuff off of there. And then I'll flip it over. I'll be able to inspect the spindles. I can inspect the belt and make sure there's no wear on the belt. And then I can get the blades off. I might sharpen them. I might just replace them because they do have 60 hours on them now. So we'll see what happens there, and then we can get started on the rest of the service. One thing I really like about this BigDog mower is how relatively clean the underside of the deck stays. I have not cleaned that deck at all this last year. Never once scraped anything out of there. So it's nice to see, because of the depth of the deck. A lot of times on the, I'm gonna call them the box store mowers. They have a lot more material built up on the deck because it's a stamped steel deck. It's not as deep. That depth attributes to a lot better flow of material. This deck never plugs up on me. I do believe that going back in there and painting over areas like this probably help with that because when I repaint everything, it's smooth, it's flat, the grass doesn't stick to it as bad. If this starts to rust, you know, if this bare metal here starts to rust and starts to get potted, then it's going to be more abrasive. That grass is going to stick to it worse. So one of the things I really like about this mower, it does not seem to have any issues with building up debris on the underside of the deck.